Welcome, everybody. I'm so excited to welcome you all here for the first episode of the AWS She Builds Tech Skills program for Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. Welcome. My name is Chris. I am a developer relations manager based in Munich, Germany. And I want to give a little bit of an introduction to She Builds because this is the first episode. So before I get to introducing these wonderful women on screen here, just a little bit about She Builds. So this program was introduced a few years ago by our wonderful colleagues in Australia. And the idea is to create an inclusive and supportive environment for technical skills development. You know, we really want to focus on hands-on keyboard learning for women and for people from underrepresented communities. So we really want to empower the next generation of leaders in STEM. And so this show is going to air monthly, and we're going to feature both AWS staff and also external members of our wonderful tech community. And we're going to be sharing awesome projects with you, demos, latest tech trends, even events and learning opportunities for you. And of course, you're here watching, but all of our events are open to people around the world. So please share it. If you sign up on our page, you can actually get reminders before each episode. So that's enough about the show. You've heard about me. Let me introduce you to the others. So first of all, my wonderful co-host, Julia. Julia, please tell us about yourself.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Julia and I'm very, very excited to be here today. I'm a data scientist consultant from the ProServe team. I am based in Warsaw, Poland, and I've been with AWS since May last year. So it's been almost a full year now. And there is also one more person supporting us from the backstage today. So also please give a warm welcome to Marysia, who is our moderator today. She will be taking care of all the comments you might have and all the questions and passing them on to us and to our very special guest that we have here today, Emilia Smółko. So a big applause for Emilia, who is our very first guest on She Builds Tech Skills show. And Emilia is a senior solution architect in AWS. Emilia, could you tell us a bit more about yourself, what brought you to the company, and yeah.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for inviting me here. I was, very happy to join and to talk with you. What brought me to AWS? Actually, from start, from the birth, I love to learn new things. And at AWS, I still learning a lot every time, every year. We have, a lot of new services. Every day I'm just, looking at something new. And that brought me to AWS, and I joined a year and a half ago. So, but it's always first day as AWS.
Absolutely. And so as part of as a solutions architect, you talk to a lot of AWS customers, I know, every day. So I want to lead into what you're going to talk about today. What are some of the things that you're helping your customers with in Poland these days?
Yeah, it's always, even customers are first, if you met somebody asking about what actually you do for customers, and it's like, I try to make change. Yeah, bring some value. Actually, I want to support my customers. I, let's say, enable them to start in new services. So first I've learned in my time new service and bring to my customer, show up how to use that, how to build that on that project. So basically starting new projects, designing something, breaking, and ongoing also just to make sure they're cost optimized, secure, and growing. So I just take care of my customers. I hope they like that level of support.
I'm sure of that. So today we are going to talk about visual development and maybe to be even more precise about Amplify Studio. So Emilia, could you tell us a bit more about what Amplify is and how can it help our customers at AWS?
Yes, actually, you can notice that AWS is just having a lot of studios. So it's coming more. Anything studio means that it's just a new interface, easier a little bit, enable you to create something without actually writing some secret codes that you need to read from the documentation. And the Amplify Studio also is the same. And coming back to the Amplify, what actually Amplify is, because Amplify Studio enables you to use Amplify. Amplify
makes sense.
It's the solution tools to build applications for web, for mobile, and with backends. So it's full stack of the application supported by Amplify. And with the Studio, you can just start using Amplify without writing a code. And you will have, the next step, what to do, and so on. And we'll see that on the demo today.
Awesome. So does it mean that now you can build applications without writing a single line of code, or how does it really work? Is it like a drag and drop thing?
Oh, yes, it's a difficult question. I know there are some tools without no code, but actually I'm coming from being a Java developer, and I still love Java. And, those tech people are geeks, you always want to change something very special, to have your application being unique and, do very special things. So basically this studio, what makes for you is just generates real code. And if you have that code, after that, you can change it, add your own, extend, I don't know. You have full power. But if you want to do some, boost, just like easy start, something that is, common for everybody, just like adding authentication or adding,
Right.
I don't know,
Database.
database, the common things. But then you can extend in the code what you would like to really do.
So it's
Yeah.
not no code. It's about getting you going faster. I think there's one other benefit to the studio, isn't there? You don't, believe me, correct me if I'm wrong, you don't have to have an AWS account. Is that right?
Yes, it's partly partly true. There is a AWS Studio app that you can access and test, look and feel how it's going. So it's the environment that is free of charge. You don't need to even have AWS account. Yet, it's limited because it's free of charge.
Yeah.
So, but it's the same. So you can just test, and if you think, oh, I like it, then you go into creating a proper AWS account. But in this time you cannot create the databases in this free of charge to save the data because nobody would be an owner of them.
Right. So there's some
Sure.
restrictions on what you can do. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Maybe just to welcome everybody who joined us today. Let us know also your thoughts. Have you ever used any no-code solutions yourself? We are very interested to know if you have any experience, or is it the first time you actually hear about Amplify and Amplify Studio?
I actually used Amplify on a personal project just like a month ago. I decided to run a little contest for some friends to try and guess who was going to win the Oscars this week. And so I used Amplify to build a little web app, put a database behind it, built an API. It's really fast. As you say, I got it up in less than a day. So definitely will boost the speed you get your apps out to the market.
Yes, actually, it's Amplify covers a lot because there are specific services as like, developing proper architecture in AWS. There are a lot of services like CloudFormation is to provide infrastructure as a code. And actually, you need to provide this code for the infrastructure. But Amplify makes that code for you. But underneath, you can see that it's using CloudFormation for you. So yeah, and maybe I need to say that the CloudFormation, because you create everything quickly, you can also delete it quickly. Sometimes it's required, just to remove the cost from your account. Yeah, so you need to be careful to not create too much of resources or to delete too many of them. Yeah, but anyway, it removes manual problems at my customers. Yeah, so I always, promote CloudFormation for them.
Yeah, so does it make sense that so this is kind of no-code solution to develop infrastructure as code? Is it a good summarization, or did I get it wrong?
Yeah, actually, I haven't found AWS no-code solution really, because you still have the script that defines everything, and you can use CloudFormation with your CLI or with the console. Anyway, yeah, it's always just full level of control, or some wizards that helps you to start. And yeah,
Sure,
I have a
makes
proper
sense.
let's say how to say best practice. Yeah, you start from the best practice and then do your own changes.
Yeah. So from the chat, I can gather that most of the people don't really have much of experience using Amplify. And Emilia, you mentioned that you have prepared a small demo for us today. Sorry, just in the meantime, I see that Chris unfortunately has dropped from our stream, probably due to some small problems with internet connection, but I hope that she will rejoin shortly. But I think in the meantime, we can move on to the demo. Show us what you got, Emilia.
Okay, I will start sharing my screen. And okay, so I hope you can see that. Okay.
No, not yet. Oh, now we can see the console.
Yeah, good point. Now I'm already logged in the console on a real account. And we can go to Amplify. I have already created one application that we can refer to if it will take too long, but I can show you how it looks like.
Oh, I'm back. Sorry,
That's
ladies. The Wi-Fi today. I mean, this is why we're doing it at lunchtime. Everybody's watching. Oh.
Don't worry, we just moved on to the demo, and
good.
Emilia is just showing us how to get logged into Amplify.
Cool. Well, and I saw someone asking, these episodes are going to be archived on our YouTube page, which we'll share. So you can go back. If you're like me, you can go back and watch the bits you missed.
So what I will show you is from this AWS environment, the Amplify Studio. But actually, all developers, and also I really like to work with, from your laptop. So I also will have my local environment. So I have this, what you have seen, my app one, but we can create the new one. It's new one application. So from the presentation layer, it will be just React application. And here I have Node.js installed. So let's move to here. But we will not spend time on installing that. but I can create with NPX my application.
So right now we are initializing your environment, right? Or
so yeah, we will initialize a new environment on my laptop. So it will be local one.
I'm an old person. Emilia, can you make the text bigger?
Wow,
So I can
okay.
see it. That's
Wow,
better. Thank you.
It's really big. Wow. Let's move back to, let's say, backstage with our studio. Yeah, this React will take a moment to create, but in the meantime, we can see how the studio looks like. Yeah? So it's, let's create Launch Studio. So actually, it's just open up the new environment. So if you would use this free of charge Amplify Studio Lab, you will have a similar look and feel. And basically, what I always do, and probably Chris, how have you set up your first application?
Yep.
What about the data? Probably we are data-driven.
The model.
All the time.
Yep.
So it's as Amplify Studio suggests, let's create the data. And here it's really very, easy. I have some pictures about AWS service, and always I work with, putting together some services. So let's model AWS service. ID is already created. Let's put a name for it, description. String is very good. Let's say icon, and for icon, I will put where link. Let's say documentation. Also link. Yeah.
So I have a question for you. Could you tell us a bit more what this data modeling is in this case? So is this like a data collection layer for our application, or what purpose does it serve for the app that we are creating?
Yeah, so actually we are creating the design data model that can be instantiated in the database. For this, it works for DynamoDB. And it will present this data model to join individual fields or full model to some resources on your user interface. So it's like, yeah, it's the model that can be instantiated in real resources. And actually, yeah, we can stay on this simple one and deploy, so we'll have quite a quick deployment. And what we have been saying previously, it's working underneath. And yeah, if you are, curious, you can check what's going on. So CloudFormation. It's good to search here services. It's over 200, so otherwise you will not choose the right one.
So you can actually see the stack that's being deployed. Oh, cool.
That's right. And actually, you can see how CloudFormation works. And my app is my app second one. And here in some, a lot of tabs, but here in resources, we can see what's created for us. Some roles. We have a DynamoDB table, what we've been saying, the definition we have created, but the instantiation is in the progress. It's already created Graphql API. So we will be ready to go with that API to modify data, to access it. And yeah, let's
So-
move.
Oh, go ahead. We're all curious now.
Yes,
Go ahead, Julia.
Yeah, I have just one question because you showed us how you when you were defining this data model. So this was like connected to this DynamoDB table. So is it so that IAM role and this GraphQL API, they are created automatically as well, or have you done it before the show, or how does it work?
No, I have a clear environment. Also, it's only app one created as a backup for me, but we are starting just from the scratch. Nothing has been created. So those roles also are created for the database because, what you allow, it should be minimal set of permissions. Yeah, so the role is to the Amplify to connect to the data and nothing more.
So
Yeah.
Amplify's handled that. You don't have to go into IAM and create roles. You don't have to create it's doing, wow. And you mentioned GraphQL. I've worked a lot with REST APIs. How is GraphQL different?
Oh, good point. It's let's move to AppSync. It's actually the service that implements GraphQL for us. So this is the second one staging. On the first is, as usually, how to cope with that from the CLI, how to download it, and so on. But you have created that schema. It's REST API. It's like you are bound to HTTP methods. Yeah, so you can have get, put, delete also. Yeah. Anyway, and in your path, you define actually the data you need to manage, download or change. So actually, it's like a single layer because you have it defined in your path. In the GraphQL, actually, you are more object-oriented because let's say how it's for us. We have AWS service. Actually, it's flat structure, but if you would have, for example, smaller objects defined under this AWS service, you could, in GraphQL, download a full object, and underneath, the service would take care of collecting the parts from other sources or from other tables. So it's like from the REST, you need to call multiple times for data. In GraphQL, you can request, give me all I need. It's basically difference. Data sources, I speak too much, so it's already created. Functions, and
it's just done all that for you while we're talking.
Yeah.
Wow.
So actually, the GraphQL, it's in GraphQL you have resolver idea. So resolver is joining actual API to the data, the source. So actually, you are not limited to anything. The data can reside anywhere, not in DynamoDB as we have this, automatically. So it can be even generated by your, Lambda, specific function, specific code. So it's really nice idea. And we have queries. What I really plan to use is list AWS services, finally. And the caching, of course, because this AppSync gives you the possibility to collect from different sources and send all at once to the customer, to the client user, anyway. It's also the caching. And the AppSync gives also the libraries to cache data on the client side. Means, let's say, in your mobile app.
Just a quick time check, ladies. We're at about 25 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, it goes fast.
Wow. One thing about the data, because I really like that. If you go to content in Amplify Studio, you can generate your test data. Have you heard about that?
Oh, so you can actually just create it.
Yeah, so we have AWS service and we can auto-generate it. It's very difficult to think of, say for the name, I will choose something, country. And description, for example, let's create something.
So are we creating
like
now
that.
this sample data for testing or?
Yeah, because if you start doing some interface and you don't have the data, it's really pain
Right.
for us to create the data. So for testing, you can generate it. And as you can see, we have a data now.
So like for my little Oscars application, I could have had the awards and the actors and all of that. I could have just, that would have saved me some time.
Yeah, it's nice. Maybe, sorry, I put some real links. Yeah, that's the problem. Those links does not lead to anything interesting. So it would be Amplify.
Don't forget, if you have questions for Emilia as we're going, just put them in the comments and we will throw them out. Although we're getting to the end, we've got to
let's
yeah.
go quickly. Yeah, wow. Maybe we will start to do some visual programming. Let's start with visual. So there is a very nice connection to the Figma. And so we can use Figma template.
What's Figma? I don't think I've used Figma.
Wow, it's external service. I'm already logged in, and it's AWS provide the template. As you can see, I can duplicate it from my own usage.
So having AWS account, we automatically have this Figma access, right?
No, actually, Figma is external service. So it's not AWS, but you can use it free of charge. And free of charge, you can generate such kind of, design for the UI. Mm-hmm. So you can see there are some primitives. So how does look like? Let's see that labels, buttons, and so on. So it's I'm just a backend developer. I don't know how to do that, but
you promised us visual. This is very visual. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like UX tool for building the application itself.
Actually, you design here, without knowing HTML, that kind of components, and then you can place that on the web. Let's create very quickly some frame for our AWS service, very small maybe, and yeah, I put the name. And we can paste here, for example, image is very important. Some kind of image.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You're just drag and drop designing the web front end.
That's
As an old school front end developer, you're blowing my mind, Emilia.
Yes, and because placing everything in HTML, it's better to just draw like that. Yeah. So the description and some link. Maybe it's too large. But like that.
And we should mention you're doing all of this live. We did try to get you to record it, but you're just that good. You're doing all this live.
Effects. I cannot see my effects. maybe.
Oh, I see.
Let's change maybe some text to.
I think that's fine for now because I think we kind of get the idea.
Do some styling.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay. Let's.
So
put
how
the
does
name
it
for
connect to
our-
the? Yeah, I was wondering how does it connect to this data model that we have created before?
Okay, so I created the name for it. We need just to copy the link. And let's go back to Studio. We need just to paste here and download. So we are downloading all our configuration. It's a lot of components. Yeah, I accept all to not go through all of them. And wow, where is my component?
So these components, they are all the parts of these visuals that you have created, or?
Yeah, it should be all of them.
And so you're syncing with Figma, I see. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I will just sync again. It should have been my component also. And I named it AWS Service Card. Yeah, okay. It was the problem. I haven't created the component, so there's no component. Now, return, sync. Always live, you can.
There it is.
Yeah, and I can accept this one.
So this is like a preview of our application, right?
Yeah, actually, now we can bound it, configure it, so connect it to our data model, as you asked. Yeah, it's preview. It's look a little bit different, basically from the point of picture view, but no, all placement is the same. So basically, let's put AWS data, and to just connect the type, it also shows you that this is available. And for example, icon, so it will be a source, and here is AWS service icon. That's right, and so on.
Okay, so you're connecting it to that test data. Is that what you're connecting it to?
It's not, the test data, to the model, actually.
To the model,
Yeah, I filled the database with our test data, but it will be seen when we execute, so not here. Yeah. So basically, if I will skip bounding next items, what we can do, for example, very nice thing, create collection, because single one is hard to create because you need to select by ID. Let's create collection. It's very quick. Well, we cannot see that. Maybe 6 is so many. And nice thing, I'll show it. Yeah, it will not include search, include pagination. So those things are generated for us, and it's beautiful.
It sounds like there's way too much to get through in 20 minutes, as we naively thought we would.
And actually, I started to do the application on my laptop. How to copy those? You've got all the information. So actually, to use this collection, with everything we have, you just need to put this tag in your app.js. So it will be, your application built of such component, but it's really easy. And Maybe if we cannot proceed, as you can see that you can sync with changes from the design. So even if you haven't finished designing everything, you can start to do code, you can start to test and so on, and change, synchronize that and so on.
So I think we can make a series out of it. In the next episode,
I think we're going to have to. I think, yeah, we probably need to. I mean, how do people find out more? Is there a good source of where they can see an end-to-end use case here?
Yeah, I think I would give you some links. First of all, I always like to learn from, documentation and how to start building that your own and finding how to do that. But if you want to have, some challenge, there are some workshop from AWS. So basically, such solution architects as me are creating the workshops. It's starting from 2 hours till 6, and you will have, full-blown project to learn new things. Probably, Julia, you could post the links on the chat.
Yeah, we're just asking Marysia to. I don't speak Polish, but I think that's what that is.
Yes, we have on the blog, we have a lot of, examples how to use Amplify and Amplify Studio. Also, maybe in Polish, today was webinar how to do the start in the Amplify Studio with authentication and, doing CI/CD from the Amplify. Yeah.
So this is for the ones who really like to have a challenge and learn both Amplify and Polish at the same time.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Emilia. I mean, you are being our first guest and showing us so much. This is really exciting stuff. And as I said, I've played a little bit with Amplify. I didn't use Studio though, so I've got all kinds of ideas now for what I can do next. Should we wrap it up there, Julia?
Yes. Thanks a lot, Emilia, and thanks a lot for this introduction to visual development today. And let me take over the screen for a second, because we also would like to let all of you know what else we have up our sleeves for the coming weeks, for the coming months. So first of all, Chris, maybe you would like to do the introduction to our EMEA Summits?
Yeah, the summits are coming up, and the exciting thing is, after 2 years, we're going to be doing some in person this summer here in EMEA. Very excited. My team are working hard on this right now. But as you can see, we've got 8 different in-person summits happening. If you Google any of those names, you'll get the page where you can actually sign up. They're free. They have so many sessions where you can learn about Amplify, where you can learn about machine learning, where you can learn all the different skills you're going to need in your tech career. And if you can't get to one of these cities, don't worry, we are doing an online version at the end of June as well. So just check out, look those up on the AWS website, and you can register, and hope to see you there at some of them.
Yes, and apart from that, we have also an amazing meetup community, AWS Women.
I promise these lovely women, these are some of our colleagues in the UK who are launching a brand new community. So if you are watching us and you are in London, which I know is probably a small group, but there's an amazing event happening this Thursday, and you can actually join up. They're in conjunction with the AWS User Group UK, and they're doing a really cool event. So check it out, AWS UG UK on meetup.com, and come along to the Women in Tech UK community. Shout outs to them. If you have other events coming up, please reach out to us. We'd love to feature you on a future episode.
Yeah, exactly. And we also don't forget about our, I would like to call them older sisters, so our sister show in Australia and New Zealand. So as I think Chris mentioned in the beginning, that they have already a couple of episodes. I think they started a couple of months ago already. And the next show is coming on 21st of April, and they will be talking a lot about serverless architecture, but also if you enjoyed our session today, make sure to check out their website, because a lot of their previous shows are recorded and are available to watch online, but don't need to be watched live. So they are available on YouTube. And yeah, make sure to check out their website and sign up there as well, so that you will be notified about all the next shows, and you will get a reminder, and you will be sure not to miss any of the future episodes that girls have prepared for you. And last but not least, also please remember to join our next session, which will be live on April 26th. And this time we will be joined by Antonia Schulze and Lucia Santamaria. So both girls, they are based in Berlin, Germany. And this time we will be changing a subject a little bit, because this time it will be we will be talking about AI and machine learning. So you might know that PyData is coming back to town after, I think, 2 years break. So I'm also very excited to see my favorite conference being back on track, because I really miss that. I used to join this conference a lot in the past. And also on the topic of machine learning, we will be talking about the initiative called Machine Learning University. So this is an internal initiative in AWS, and the goal of this initiative is to primarily spark and increase the machine learning knowledge among our employees. So make sure to join us, because we have a lot of interesting stuff prepared for you. And I guess we will see you all next month.
Thank you, everybody. Really excited to be here. Don't forget, you can follow us on Twitch. You can subscribe to our YouTube page where these episodes will be. You can also see, as Julia mentioned, the episodes from Australia, and register on our registration page, and then we'll send you a reminder before we do each episode. So thanks again. Thank you, Emilia, for being the first one to join us. Thank you, Julia and Maria, for really driving this initiative. And everyone have a great week. So excited to present this to you. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.